Good afternoon. It's Gary David Currie here once again. In the great outdoors, I'm speaking my mind. Today I'm at the Adams River, which is in BC, not too far from Kamloops, near a town called Chase. Salmon River's that way. You can tell behind me. This is where the annual salmon run takes place. We walked down that way, saw a bunch of the sockeye salmon. It was incredible. Today I want to address something that is incredibly important to me and kind of the accumulation of everything I've been trying to say. And it would be my message to humanity if humanity was willing to listen. That's the big if, because we all just seem to not want to listen to each other, which would actually be part of the message. So what would I say if I had everybody's attention and everybody was willing to take a moment out of their lives, contemplate what I was saying, and try and understand? It would have to be based on my core principles. So here I go. It's do no harm and seek the truth always. What we do to each other needs to stop. We hurt each other. We cause harm on a daily basis. And why we do this, that's the big question. Is it because of survival? Is it because we're afraid? Is it because we just don't care? I don't know the answer to that. All I know is that we, for the most part, don't care what happens to another human being. Sure, we have our moments where we might give some money to someone who's homeless and offer them some food, and countries offer money to other countries, but overall, we just really don't seem to care. That's why we have issues like gay marriage, which to me shouldn't even be an issue. It's just ridiculous that we care whether another human being who happens to fall in love or want to be with same-sex partners should not get married and should not have the same rights as every other human being. And some religions even take it further, as what's going on in Uganda and some other countries, as to want to imprison. Oh, helicopter, just a minute. Right up there, it's pretty close. Let me back up a bit. So they seem to want to imprison or even put to death people who are gay. And that's just insanity. Absolute insanity. And the justifications behind that are absolutely ridiculous. Personally, and maybe you have, I have never talked to anyone who is against homosexuality or gay and lesbian rights in any way, unless it's based on some sort of dogma, some sort of religion, some sort of fear. So that's just one issue. And then around the world we still have slavery. We still have victims being abused sexually, put into trades, the sex trade. This stuff needs to stop. So how can we do this? We have poverty, we have preventable disease. These are all the issues, which to me, if we just work together, have an appreciation, some empathy for each other, we could stand a chance of putting most of these issues to rest. Now, we like to think we care. We like to think that we would want to help somebody out, but how far would we really go? Would we risk our life? I'm sure there are people that would, and to them, I applaud them, and they have my respect. But I do believe the vast majority of us want a better world and want to help others, but we get caught up in all these issues that are just ridiculous. Our politics, our religion, and our day-to-day activities, which we tend to bundle in, not see the big picture, and just kind of care about us, maybe our families, and maybe our communities, but that would be about it. We need to start looking at the bigger picture. Start looking at how we can all help each other. So I do believe it's a small part of the population that is leading us into these issues that are causing us harm, causing us problems. So here's my message. It's really, really simple. We just need to stop. We need to stop. We need to take a few moments and say, what if that was me? What if my child was in the sex trade? What if my sister, my wife, my brother, what if my husband was doing that to other people, or a family member, or someone I knew? How would you feel about that? We need to take a look at our politics and kind of say to ourselves, what's the gain behind this? And the one that I like to use is the Democrats and the Republicans. There's such a division in the United States, and it's becoming worse and worse and worse. One party of Jesus and guns, and I'm sure it's not everybody in there, but that's the way it's being portrayed. We get some of the Republican leaders who are just off on these crazy tangents that have no empathy, no reasoning behind it to help another human being. And I'm sure that you can find this in the Democrat Party. So everybody there needs to get together and stop all this nonsense. Put their politics, put their religion behind them and say, what would benefit humanity? And that's just one example. I'm sure every country has similar issues. So just stop. And I've said this before about religion. Just stop, because we really don't know. So why do we keep on arguing, getting involved in all this nonsense? We just need to stop. Look at each other with value, with kindness, with love for a change. I've gotten a message from people all around the world that I've talked to that love is the one thing we all need. Love is the one thing that can help us. And I agree with that. And I wish we could just all stop and start showing compassion, showing empathy, and showing love for each other beyond a thought. And one action will lead to another action, and we will be the example for the next generations and other people. We also need leaders. Leaders who are not grounded in religion, grounded in politics, grounded in divisions of country, who can help us get to a better world. That's my message. It's really clear and simple to me. Stop hurting each other. Stop hurting ourselves. Thank you very much for listening.